Welcome into the Pillow Talk edition. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't frame it properly. It's Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. I'm Pugs Moran. James Parker is here. Let's bring him in, Jay.
Good evening. Good to be here. Glad to be here.
I apologize. I was almost late. I had this timed almost perfectly. I fell into did you do this? We just came out of the NFL draft, and I know that you are an ardent Cowboy fan. How about them Cowboys?
I don't know what they get. I stopped paying attention to the draft years ago.
Really?
Well, I did the math. There is math behind this, and the draft is an absolute, just mathematically speaking, waste of your time. In 3 years, most of those guys aren't going to be in the league. In 5 years, only like 10 of them are still going to be in the league, and you sure as hell don't know which ones they are.
Well, that's not true at all. I don't care what kind of math you come up with. If you are picked in the first, second, or third round of the draft, you are probably, how many years did you say? 3 years? If you are picked in the first, second, or third round of the draft, you are more than likely going to be in the league. Now, the league average, I think, for career with injuries and with flameouts, I think it's like 4 years. Isn't that what it is?
It's 3.
So, 3? Is that, are you? No.
Last I checked, but I really hadn't checked in like 5 years.
No. Well, hey, it's hit or miss. Hope springs eternal.
They also have the collective bargaining agreement that gives you guaranteed raises. So even once you get up to like your 4th or 5th year, if you're just a guy that's riding the bench, they'll put in a rookie or a second year guy just to save money, because that's the only way they can save money.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, if your argument is with rookie contracts, the way rookie contracts are structured, you basically have 3 years with a guy before you have to decide whether you're going to give him. Rookie contract's going to be for 4 years. In the third year, you decide whether or not you're going to cut bait with him and let him go somewhere else, or in that third year, you'll typically start negotiating a long-term deal to keep him. So after 3 years, you got a rookie for 3 years. Whoever this guy is, you've taken him, you probably got him for 3 years. And look, I love the draft.
You do?
Oh, I love the James. I was just going to say, I was late today because I did a deep dive on YouTube is so fantastic. YouTube has everything. I did a deep dive on every single one of my Chicago Bear draft picks. Every single one of them has a highlight reel from college on YouTube that I can watch. I was just enjoying the Tennessee highlights of one Velez Jones Jr., our wide receiver that we took in the third round.
All right, well, tell me about him. What college did you go to?
Went to Tennessee. He was a wide receiver. He led the SEC in punt and kickoff returns.
That's big.
We're going to use him as sort of a dual threat. He's not a particularly great route runner, but he's
his 40 time.
Yes, 4.4. Very good 40 time. He gets open on a straight line. And since we have a quarterback in Justin Fields, a developing young quarterback, who's got a cannon for an arm that just likes to chuck it and let athletic receivers run under it and catch it. At least that was the plan in college. We need speed on the outside. And we have absolutely no receivers except for Darnell Mooney, who is a budding superstar. But other than that, we've got nothing. Like, we've got no number 2. We've got no number 3. We've got nothing. I've got a lot invested in the draft pick of Mr. Jones Jr. and I'm hoping he can return kicks and
his high school.
Oh, I don't know. I was just watching YouTube stuff. I don't give a shit about high school. I didn't go Wikipedia page. Okay. I can. Maybe I should. Maybe that's for later tonight. Maybe
see, the one cool part about being a football fan now is when you are looking up these dudes, most of them have incredible highlight reels from what they did in high school.
Oh yeah.
And of course, like, NFL highlights are amazing, college highlights are amazing. But in these high school ones, you have these big giant dudes that are, just 2 years away from the NFL, probably, or 3. And they're playing against these guys that all look like they're about half the size, and they just bowl through them like a damn video game, like Bo Jackson and Super Tecmo Bowl. And they are just hilarious. There'll be like a ball that's thrown up, and some 6'7" guy is standing there, and there could be like 4 guys that are like jumping, nipping at his heels like a little dog with the big dog. And they are just adorable, these highlight reels.
We did this. Didn't we do this recently? Who is it? Uh,
You were showing me some dude that was just running through people.
yeah. Who's their nose tackle? I can't. God, the name is escaping me because I'm getting old right now. Vita Vea. I'm sorry, Vita Vea. We were watching Vita Vea. Wasn't he a quarterback in high school? And he
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
nose
yeah, yeah,
tackle in
yeah,
the
yeah.
NFL,
Yeah, that's I remember him now. You were showing me that during the
and he
football
could
season.
not be sacked. He could not
It's
be
like
tackled. He's
there's
back.
like 2 guys hanging on him, he completes a pass.
Yeah, he was
That was
amazing.
great.
And then the other trivia, I'm with you. I like finding athletes high school tapes. Although I don't, I typically when it comes to football players, I look at their college stuff because that's more immediate as far as what I'm getting. But there is a baseball player, and I don't know if I showed you this. There's a baseball player who plays for the my White Sox. He's a reserve. He's a reserve outfielder. He's super fast. His name is Adam Engel, and he's not bad. He's not a starter at the moment, but he's still young. His high school football tape is mind blowing. Nobody could tackle him. First of all, he's a white running back who just ran every time he touched the ball was a touchdown. Every single time. Now I don't know what level of high school league he was playing in, but God, gee,
Because these guys go to small schools sometimes, and there's just no talent to begin with, period, point blank, on a regular season with regular teams. It's just any guy that is halfway athletic, he's going to make the team. There's only 28 guys in your class, that's and so you don't even have sort of the population density to make up for the fact that this guy's absurdly off the bell curve as far as his talent goes. Usually there's just no match for him on either side of the ball.
well, that's true. Now you come from Tyler, Texas. Tyler, Texas is actually known for producing some athletes. I think one guy's name is Patrick Mahomes, is one example. But did your high school have like? Did you go to high school with anybody who turned out to be a pro
Yeah, yeah. I had a friend in high school that ended up in the Pro Bowl one year.
for what? What sport? Football.
Football, yeah. It's the
So
only
you
one that
went to
has the Pro Bowl.
somebody you went to high school with made it to the NFL.
Yeah, and then there was a guy that graduated like 3 years after me. I
Yes.
think I was a senior when he was a freshman that made it in the NFL. We have one every once in a while.
Yeah. I
But
see.
we're a smaller school. I didn't go to Tyler schools. I went to one called Chapel Hill.
You're a small school. I'm from a massive school. I'm from a massive school with there are thousands of people in my high school, and we have never had anyone go pro at anything. I
Did y'all
don't.
not have black kids?
Yeah, we're all white. Yeah, we're
Yeah.
we're an all white
Well,
school.
yeah. Then the odds are still stacked against you, bud.
Well, baseball. We thought we could do baseball. Okay, are we sharing this? Are you seeing this? Okay. All right. This kid is a baseball player. He's a center fielder. Watch him. Hold on. See, this is his high school highlight tape. Just no way he can catch him. He
Dang.
can't do. He can do no wrong, and he played multiple positions too. I think he's also a wide receiver. Oh no, look, they're
Is
trying
this
to
him?
sack him. Yeah, it's him. I think no, yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, starting center fielder for the Chicago White Sox,
Dang.
Adam Engel. He was better at baseball. I mean, look at how he's just dominating these kids in football. He was better at baseball. The greatest athlete that I think I ever grew up with, never amounted to dick. Didn't even get a scholarship to a good school. Just went to like Northern Illinois or something like that.
No, yeah, but the two big schools in Tyler, they have someone in the NFL like at all times.
Yeah, well, but even your big schools in Tyler, they're probably not nearly as big as, I mean, I came from a.
They are. There's two of them, and they're both like 6,000, 7,000 kids.
Yeah, okay, all right, so I think of, like, Tyler typically of, like, having smaller schools because
Yeah, well, like my high school's a 4A school,
this
which
kid
which is like the third biggest level.
this kid is not scored.
Have you ever seen 6-man football?
I have heard tell of six-man
Because
football.
every once in a while you get like some big stud like this in 6-man football, and it's like playing NBA Jam or NFL Blitz. That was he just turned that kid around. 6-man football is incredible. It's like playing a video game,
Yeah,
and the scores are like 92 to 68.
I think if you just Look, if you're an athlete, and I think if you get discovered as an athlete at a young enough age, someone will get a hold of you and someone will just be like, we're going to turn you into something. Case in point, there was an offensive lineman. He was one of the top offensive linemen in the draft this past year, this just a couple of days ago. Played for Central Michigan, which is a small school. But he got drafted and he was a dominant offensive lineman. And he doesn't even speak English. He's from Austria. He's only been playing football for like 2 years. And
Oh, lucky him.
he's just a giant Austrian dude. And they went, no. He started playing in some, like, there's an American football league, like small club team in Austria. And his family had to drive like 2 miles. And he started out as a tight end. And then he dominated at tight end over there. And so a small American university gave him a scholarship and turned him into a left tackle. And now he's in the NFL. And he's only been playing for 2 years. 2 years in college. And then he played for like 3 years back in Austria. Hey, let's not leave your friend hanging. Who you got with us tonight?
Rebecca Pratt.
Look at this. Rebecca's back for another night. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to exclude you from the conversation. I was just geeking out on sports.
What's up, guys? I didn't join you yesterday, but the big news yesterday was the leak out of the Supreme Court when it came to Roe v. Wade. And every news channel I turned on all day long, morning, noon, and night, they were talking about the leak. Yesterday, I went to the bathroom more than I think I've ever went in my life in one day.
Because you were programmed? Yeah. Well done.
It's very nice. All right, before we get into whatever nonsense we're going to get into here today, James, how about you you feel like wheeling and dealing with a little bit of what we like to call the monologue?
I do. I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh, here it comes. All right, on the delay, still not timing.
Well, while you're waiting on it, can I have the floor, please?
Oh, jeez. Please welcome to the Comfort Nest Lounge, high atop the One Percenter compound in beautiful Highland Park, Texas. He's a veteran of multiple paternity suits, been making the people around the globe laugh for generations. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome James Johnny Parker.
Thank you. You can just go ahead and get the boo button ready. I know you're not going to like this one, Pugs. According to a shocking new poll, the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade has a 99% approval rating among fetuses. Oh, God. Your boos are delicious. I got some more Supreme Court news because, the world's changed a lot since the Roe v. Wade decision was originally given to us in 1973. For example, back then, only women could get pregnant. That was just different back then, different time. You can do that one too if you want. Do it. That's what I wanted. I wanted you to do. According to the National Enquirer, recovering alcoholic Matthew Perry is now clean and sober. And he's been on the wagon before, but this time he stayed on for at least 6 hours.
Got him back a little bit.
According to a new study, the best opening line for men to meet women online is, "You have beautiful lips." The worst line is, "May the 4th be with you."
That's right. Oh, you're so original. I've never heard that before.
And
How
it's
clever.
very and timely. Today is National Youth Day in China. This is the only day every year that the Chinese kids are allowed water breaks on the factory floor.
Oh, look at that. He hates
Child labor is hilarious.
He hates them.
This is also Teacher Appreciation Week still. Students are encouraged to show appreciation to all of their teachers and not just the ones that they're banging.
Look at him. He's won the crowd over. It started out bad, and now it's good.
Wow, just give me time. May is Asthma and Allergy Awareness Month. According to a new study, 82% of our homes have mouse allergens, and scientists say you can tell if your house is affected if you hear mice sneezing.
He lost them. He had them, and he lost them.
But did I want them? Today is, or tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo. And I just want to give you a heads up because if you go to bars in Mesquite tomorrow, they give away a free margarita with every meth purchase.
Look at that. Meth purchases, folks. He said meth purchases. In where? Mesquite?
Mesquite.
In Mesquite, no less.
It's like, how do you live in a big city in a trailer house? It was on tomorrow, on this day in history in 1494, Christopher Columbus discovered Jamaica. After a couple hours, he had the munchies and had to leave for the Sandwich Islands, though.
That is a joke about exploration. There are no limits to this guy.
Also, tomorrow on this day in 1941, I have to do this because I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Tomorrow on this day in 1941, fashion designer Coco Chanel released her signature perfume, Chanel No. 5. But do you know Amber Heard's favorite perfume? Chanel No. 2.
Oh, a timely joke. We thought it was going to be Coco Chanel jokes, and it was a timely joke.
Doo-doo joke. And finally, happy birthday to the great Mick Mars of Motley Crue. I don't want to say he's getting old, but he and the band have a new song called, any guesses? New song called?
Okay. No, just go. I'm not that quick.
Kickstart My Pacemaker.
Oh, Kickstart I don't know. For some reason, I was stuck on girls, 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 and I was trying to think what would the joke for girls, girls, girls be. Kickstart My Pacemaker. Kickstart My Heart is my favorite Motley Crue song. And if I'm being honest, my only Motley Crue song that I like, because I'm not really a big Motley Crue fan. I'm not.
Oh, I love the Crew, and the movie that came out a couple of years ago, The Dirt, that was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, the Netflix movie The Dirt, I like that. It keeps showing up in my queue, and I keep thinking, should I watch that again? Maybe I should watch that again. But I'm thinking I'm going to wait to watch it with my 12-year-old. We like those kinds of movies. we like to. I am not a big Motley Crue fan. Now, Rebecca, I'm sorry to say, I have no idea what generation you are from. I'm guessing Gen X, but I don't know what year around you graduated from high school. When I was in high school, I graduated in 1987. There were two things, man. You were either into the Sunset Strip metal, you were either like one of those guys, or you were into like the alt English import kind of stuff, like the
Talking
punk
Heads.
Nah, that was more college. I'm talking more like, Duran Duran, The Police, The Clash, Depeche Mode, yeah, stuff like that. I was more in that camp. I didn't hang out. I was kind of a preppy puss. I didn't really hang out with the stoners with their leather jackets and their shoes.
I like the Hollywood scene. Not all of it, but some of it. And you and I are pretty close in age, Pugs.
What year did you graduate?
2 years before he did.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I came to appreciate the Sunset metal scene late in my life, in my 30s. It was in my 30s. And it was fun. Something happens to you when you're in high school and you're trying to be cool. You're trying to fit in with a certain clique. So even just without even giving something a fair shot, that sucks, man. That's stupid. That music's gay. Whatever. However we used to frame it back then, because everything was gay back then. Didn't mean anything about your sexual orientation. It just meant. It still meant bad, so maybe I should back off this line of thought. But anyway, what I'm saying is, it was, I was so close-minded. It took me until my 30s when I started dating actually girls who were much younger than me, who didn't have a generational bias against certain kinds of music, that I started to go, okay. My first band was, Rebecca, who I embraced from that era? Scorpions. I got really into the Scorpions at like 32.
And even then, the Scorpions were really old.
Yeah, the Scorpions are like from the early 70s originally.
Yeah.
What's the Scorpion song that I know?
Rock You Like a Hurricane.
Okay, definitely know
There's
that.
no one like you.
And
I can't wait for the night with you.
Okay, yep. Okay, good.
the Scorps were my gateway to finally appreciating Def Leppard, who I never appreciated in their prime when I was.
Oh, I loved them.
I was not. I was not a Def Leppard, Bon Jovi. That was all push rock, man. You know, I mean, I liked guys from England with heroin track marks on their arms, you know, and it turns out all the Sunset Strip guys had that too. I just couldn't see it over their frilly blouses. Although, you know, I mean, I really, my ground zero is like the Clash. I really loved the Clash, and I really loved the Police, and you know,
Oh, well, y'all are just gonna be best friends then.
yeah. Well,
When I was in high school, Def Leppard opened for Billy Squier in an arena tour. And Def Leppard, that was the first time they were ever over in the United States, and they blew Billy Squier off the stage. And that shows you, I mean, how messed up were the 80s, the early 80s when you had Def Leppard opening for Billy Squier.
Well, I mean, I can see it. Def Leppard, you know, that Billy Squier had a bunch of hits. Yeah, stroke it, stroke it. I like Billy Squier. I like that. Yeah, I like classic. I hated classic rock until I became like 40 plus. And then I started going, hey, I like all these songs from when I was 10, 11 years old. These are
Okay,
good.
but Rebecca, your favorite band of all time?
Of all time,
Would it be the Clash?
the Clash are in the conversation. Guns N' Roses is in the conversation. You know, it's funny. Pugs brought up the Police. I absolutely love everything they did. I can't say I have one favorite band, but there's a bunch who are in the discussion.
I'm going to set James off on this. I mean, my overarching, the number one, like the one that I just put in a different category that I'm like, yeah, they're everything. That's the Beatles. But I would give you, I would also agree that if we're talking about, aside from like the Beatles, I am a Clash. I am the Police. I love the Cure. I am REM. Oh God. And then, you know, I love the in my 90s I worked in the 90s I worked at an alternative rock station. So I feel like I was there at the beginning of the Pearl Jams and the Nirvanas and you know all that stuff. So I have an affinity for that stuff as well. But yeah, Clash, I would say the big 3, Clash, REM, and the Police for me. Should we play? Let's do this. We're getting to know Rebecca. Rebecca, first concert you went to by yourself. Nothing that your parents dragged you to. First concert you went to by yourself. Well, no, I mean, with your friends, contemporaries.
It was my freshman year in high school, the Go-Go's.
Ooh, I would love to see the Go-Go's. That was James, first grown up on your own, not mom and dad are going to see.
Okay, my sister was with me. Does that count? I'm with my older. Okay, so that's still cool. Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray, that's a
Achy Breaky Heart, mullet and everything. They were playing at the Oil Palace right up the street.
That's
I took Sarah Noble, and right after that, she got back together with Clint. So I guess that didn't work.
That's a terrible one.
Yeah, my first rock concert was Candlebox.
That's another terrible one.
Not a great story on that one. I was in college, and we went to Shreveport and saw Candlebox at a really small bar.
Candlebox. What did they do? What did they do?
But you left me far behind. Now,
Yeah. Mine was also my first date, and it was Duran at the Rosemont Horizon, 1983, 7 in the Ragged Tiger tour, and it turned me into a concert fanatic for about 30 years of my life, about the next 30 years of my life.
Hey, just let me say, really cool, Leslie. Hi, Leslie. Leslie wrote in chat. The first concert was the Go-Go's. And hi, Jefferson. And yes, I can read what's in the chat room. You asked a question. Yeah, I can. I can read.
He's not Jeff. He's not Jefferson. He's Jeff Glenn. And he goes by that crazy name because he's been kicked off all the social media platforms and he's constantly reinventing himself with new names. So he's Jeff Glenn. He's a shit stirrer who, by the way, Jeff Glenn sent me some pictures of his dinner tonight. He went fishing in some, I don't know, creek, I imagine. I don't know. And he made the most delicious looking fish fry for dinner tonight. It looked amazing. Brady, August of 88. What are you saying? Jeff Ballard saw Britney Spears. Jeff, was your first concert.
He's younger than us, I guess.
All right. Yeah, I was going to say, I hope so. Because that would be weird. Let's see. Who else? Anybody else? Where? Let me make it bigger so that I can see all the last concert. Ooh, this is a fun one. Last concert you went to. Rebecca, the floor is yours.
I saw the Cult here in New Orleans at a very cool new venue called the Fillmore.
Oh, the Cult. I love the Cult.
Love that band. Love that
band. Matt Sorum playing drums for him? Is he gone for forever?
He wasn't. They only had the two main original guys, Ian the singer, and Billy Duffy, the guitar player. But that morning I interviewed Ian and then said hi to him that night at the show. And he just turned 60 years old.
Oh my God.
The singer of the Cult is 60.
That's all you need, though. You only need the voice and Billy Duffy playing guitar. That's really pretty. It's like the Stones. As long as it's Mick and Keith, I don't care who is filling out the other positions. It's not a big deal to me. James, last concert, because this is interesting because for a lot of us, we've been in this lockdown and there haven't been a whole lot of concerts to go to. So what is the last concert you attended, Jay?
Well, the last concert I went to was Tracy Bird, but it was a radio event. So I wasn't even there to see him, but it was a concert. The last one I went to go see the band was the Toadies. They were in New Orleans in November.
Yeah, just a couple of months ago. That's a great one. That's a really good one.
Yep. They're at Tipitina's. Did you go, Rebecca, this time?
Well, I was there.
Yeah.
But you know how you just said your friend Jefferson reinvents himself all the time? I recently kind of did that personally. But when I was with you that night at Tipitina's in New Orleans to see the Toadies, I was there, but I wasn't looking like this.
It was before the reinvention.
Yes.
Reinvent. It's always good to reinvent. I've done it multiple times in my life. My last concert was, and actually this is kind of cool given the state of things now. My last concert were the Foo Fighters, which was back.
Man.
Would have to have been 2019, I think. Summer of 2019. Yeah. So never see them again. So there you go. All right. Very good. We got some other ones here. Kenny Jenkins' last one was ELO. Oh, yeah. Hey, ELO, the band that opened for ELO. Oh, God, why can't I think of their name now? Kenny, who opened for ELO? I hope you know. The band that opened for ELO is a band, and their lead guitarist, who is a young master guitarist, like one of the most incredible young new guitarists out there on the scene. I just happen to have picked up and delivered the first guitar he ever played. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's Trevor Matthews, the son of my former boss, Kevin Matthews.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. He's great, man. He's great. He's in, what is it called? What's the name of his band? His band is called I don't know, but every time they appear on TV a lot, like they were on James Corden a couple months ago, and they were on Kimmel, and every time I'm like, I bought that, I got his first guitar for him, his Christmas present. I got sent to pick it up. Very proud of that kid. That kid's awesome.
James Corden is done hosting the Late Late Show. I'm applying for that job.
Wait, what happened? What happened? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's out.
He and Rachel Maddow are running off together.
Yeah, probably. No, was it like a Me Too thing or? What's going on?
All I read was James Corden is done as the Late Late host, and I don't know. I mean, he's been doing well with all those TV commercials that he's on.
He's an actor. He's an actor. He wants to go back and do acting in Broadway and stuff like that. Yeah, I didn't see that. I was just reading earlier tonight about Rachel Maddow's plans, about how she's walking away and leaving, and MSNBC doesn't know what the hell they're going to do now because nobody watches that station for anything but her. And so she's just like, I'm out. I am gone. All right, James, do you have anything you want to start out with? Because
no, I want to hear the Amber Heard stuff.
Okay, we'll do the Amber Heard stuff, but I do have one quick thing that I wanted to fly past you guys that I just saw. This is one of the absolute greatest moves on a troll that I have ever. You know, these online trolls, these guys that just F with celebrities. Okay. So Drake, we all know who Drake is, right? Every woman's fantasy, every guy's nightmare. Drake he tweeted something about Ja Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies' father. Ja Morant's dad is being unflatteringly compared to the Ball dad, right? He's being unflatteringly compared to LeVar Ball.
Alonzo Ball's dad.
Yeah, but
what's his name? James
LeVar.
Okay,
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, he's being. They're saying, "Oh, great! Now we got two of them in the league," because and it's not a fair comparison at all. Ja Morant's dad is just a dad who loves his kid, who goes to all the games and like really gets into the games. He's not giving shit talking interviews the way LeVar Ball did. He's not being a distraction to the team. So Drake basically defended Ja Morant's dad, and he said something to the effect of, look, I'm going to be a dad just like that. If my kid is in a Rubik's Cube contest, you better believe that I'm going to be on the sidelines jumping up and down and excited for him. So a troll responded in some stupid troll-like way. And apparently there is a way to get at Drake, which is to comment on how a lot of his lyrics are ghost written. And it supposedly really bothers Drake.
That is the biggest insult to a rapper, period.
Yeah. So this troll said something about something ghost writing, and so it was basically meant as a trolling of Drake and his Ja Morant thing. So do you know what Drake did? Drake saw this guy's profile, found this guy's wife, and then started DMing with this guy's wife. He friended the dude's wife and then started DMing with her. I don't know from Drake, but that is a move.
Then he screenshots and shows how she wants to get with him. Oh,
no, that hasn't happened yet. But
okay.
DMS trolls wife after defending Ja Morant's dad. I'm here for you, mama, is what he said to her in a DM. Could you imagine you're the wife of some asshole online troll and then suddenly you're getting DM? First you get friended by Drake. You get followed by Drake. And then, oh yeah, she was already following him. So that was like another part of it. PSA for all the internet trolls out there. If you come at Drake, he will DM your girl. It's just so great. It's just so great. Okay. Any thoughts on that from you guys? I mean, all I can say is that's great. That's just great.
So it's really Drake who's DMing the woman. He's not having someone ghost DM her.
Ooh, look at
that. God dang. Glad Drake doesn't watch this show.
He absolutely doesn't. James, thoughts on the Drake move here?
Well, I think it just points out that we forget how it doesn't look. I'm not saying women are whores and they're all easy and they just want celebrities so bad, but it is like 1 or 2, maybe even 3% of them are like that.
Yeah.
And so if you're one of these guys, you're just living in a different planet than guys like us and girls like us. But no one just randomly hits on us, and no one gets amazed when I park my 2006 pickup in the parking lot. I don't have a Maybach. I don't have a Lambo. I don't have anything like that. So they already know your name, they know your face, and they know that you're rich as hell. These guys just have women throwing themselves at their feet constantly, all day, every day, and I have no idea what it's like, but it must be close to heaven.
So James, I don't know about Rebecca and your relationships, but James, I'm guessing you do not, because you're in the world's greatest relationship and you have no fun. every relationship I've ever been on, and you may remember this from my partner Kelly and I, we both had these things. One of the first things you do when you get into a relationship, you'd say, okay, let's have your list. Let's have your exemption list. Remember, we used to make the sexual exemption list? We'd update them as new celebrities came around. Rebecca, are you familiar with a sexual exemption list?
Yes.
Okay. Were you ever in a relationship where you made that a thing? Because we always made it a thing.
Yeah, you're hanging out with your significant other, and then you have the conversation. All right, name 3 people that you would do sex with, if you had the opportunity to.
Well, I had 2 very close calls with our sexual exemption lists. One was a girl that I was dating, and she had Ed Burns on her. Ed Burns, the actor.
Yeah.
Ed Burns. She had Ed Burns on her sexual exemption list, and we were in Hollywood, and we were walking down the street, and here comes Ed Burns at night. We're going club hopping. He's going club hopping, and my girl looked good. She looked really good. Do you remember Tammy? Do you remember Tammy, James?
Oh my God. Is that the half Asian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like
Oh my God. Oh my God.
5'11",
Yes.
former bikini model, half Asian, wearing this gorgeous dress. She just looked beautiful. And here comes Ed Burns. And I maybe it was Kelly who goes, "Oh my God, is that Ed Burns?" And she goes, "He's on my list." And I'm like, "Oh God, oh no." So that was bad. Another one was my son's mom had George St. Pierre, the MMA fighter, on her list. And we were at a thing where he showed up, and that was not good for me. None of the people on my sexual exemption list I never even met. I never even I hung out with Kim Kardashian. My famous Kim Kardashian is my best friend story. I hung out with Kim Kardashian, and she wasn't even on my exemption list at the time. She is now, should we ever run into each other again.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, remember that fun we had in this? Rebecca, Kim Kardashian explained to me and Stuart Copeland of the Police the difference between red and green salsa in a buffet line backstage at the Grammys. It's my greatest story.
Yeah, they're pretty much best friends.
Did you see the other night at the Met Gala? She wore the dress that Marilyn Monroe wore to sing "Happy Birthday" to President John F. Kennedy. She wore the same dress. They say the dress cost $10 million. They're the only 2 people who ever wore
it. That's so bizarre because the stitching on my Nikes doesn't last 5 years.
Well, that was put away, and it was, archived, I'm sure. And now it's got Pete Davidson stain on it. You know that there's. All right, so my reason for bringing up the exemption list is this woman who got DM'd by Drake. What if they have an exemption list? You got to do it. If my girl had Drake on the exemption list and this came up, I'd be like, go for it. Because I'm like I said, I've come close twice, and you know me, James. My whole thing about relationships are totally open. If I love you, that doesn't mean that you're the only person in the planet I want to bang. And if you love me, I totally recognize that you can be hot for Brad Pitt at the same time. I'm not offended by that. If you have the opportunity to just have animalistic sex with absolutely no emotional ties to it, you gotta go for it. So, if I was this guy and we had a list and my girl got DM'd by Drake, I'd be like, all right, go ahead, tell him.
Wear a rubber, dude.
Tell him you're on the list. Yeah, there you go. Nothing I can do about it.
See, it's funny because my wife is on the other side of this room at her desk, like actually doing work. And so she only hears what I say because y'all are in headphones. So she just hears like 48 seconds of silence followed by "wear a rubber, dude" for me.
Well,
and you're doing work too. Yeah,
technically, yes.
Do you have a list, James? If you were to make a who's on your list for your wife right now?
Scarlett Johansson, Christina Hendricks, Selma Hayek. Solid. Who else on my list, baby? My exemption list.
Oh, you got
because she's got the guy from Supernatural. Okay. Actually, both the guys from Supernatural. Yeah, Jensen Ackles.
Oh, tell her.
And she has Josh Duhamel.
Tell her to shoot higher. Two
what,
guys.
Jensen Ackles?
Who the hell are they? Some guys on a CW sitcom? Come on.
Yeah, dude, I didn't say it was a good show, but she would like to smash him and Josh Duhamel. Who else on your list, Bay? I forgot. You know Josh Duhamel though
Josh,
was
Josh,
married to Fergie.
I thought it was Duhamel, but yeah, he would be he might be on my
Oh
list.
yeah, Uhtred from Last Kingdom is on her list.
Oh, Uhtred of Bebenbear. Okay,
Yeah,
deal with that.
Uhtred of Bebbenburg.
Okay,
Uhtred, son of Uhtred. Yeah, because they showed his ass like 28 times in that show. It's like,
how she feel about Jason Momoa? Because I'm having some very
where you
complicated
at on
feelings
Jason
towards-
Momoa? That's a negative.
I think that I might be Momoa sexual. I am having some very complicated
No, you're not.
feelings when it comes to Jason Momoa.
No, he's not even like he's kind of ugly. Like he's ripped and he could beat the piss out of me, but
Kind of ugly, he sounds.
well, no, I'm just saying like in the face and all, he's not like
Oh yeah. Oh, he's hideous. Rebecca, are you in a relationship?
At the moment, no, I'm single.
Have you ever
Dude.
had a list? Like, do you have a list that you'd want to share? Or because I'm not in a relationship, so I haven't really thought about my list right now. I wouldn't have one. Well, I mean, if I had to.
Well, going back in time, and when I tell you Cindy Crawford, that's how long ago it was. But she was on my list way back when.
Jesus Christ, was it 30 years?
Yeah, that's okay. She could still be on my list. She's
still hot, Parker.
I don't like
Christina Brinkley's still hot.
I like women. Well, we argued about Elle Macpherson yesterday. Elle Macpherson is still hot. Paulina Poroskova, I recently saw pictures of her. She is still beautiful. She's I don't know who my list would be. You know what? I do know who my list would be. My list would
Tawny
be
Katane.
She's dead. She's dead.
Oh no!
Do you know Schwartz dated her?
Shut up. Oh, no. I heard that story. Actually, I did hear that story, I think.
Schwartz dated Tawny Katane. Like, after David Coverdale. Like, he dated her, like, when she was stained, sure, by the whole White Snake thing, but she was still Tawny Katane. She was, my list would be, I would go with Scarlett Johansson. I would go with Mila Kunis.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I would go with Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
I would go with I don't know. I'd really have to think about it past that. But those are
I think in addition to my list,
Olivia Munn would definitely be on my.
I'm thinking about adding Ruth from Ozark.
Really?
Even though she's flat, yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know. Rebecca, are you an Ozark fan?
I wouldn't call myself a fan. I've seen it, but I'm not a big fan.
I kind of applaud you for Julia Garner is her name. I kind of applaud you for saying Ruth. I do not find her particularly traditionally attractive, but in her Anna Delvey Netflix show, where she played the Bulgarian con woman or whatever the hell she was, there was something there. It was for the first time that I went, okay, Ruth has got a little something. She's bringing it. All right.
Oh wait, one more to the list. Bella Thorne. Do y'all know Bella Thorne?
I do know Bella Thorne. Bella Thorne. I'm like trying to think. I like oh. Who's the girl? Oh God, I love her so much. I can't believe I left her off, and I can't believe I can't think of her name. Do you remember the girl I told you about who is married to Dave Franco, James Franco's brother, and they met when she walked up to him in a bar and dropped some ecstasy in his drink and said, "Do ecstasy with me," and then they went home and banged for a weekend.
Yeah. You told me that story. That is,
I love her. She's so
Allison Brie. Yeah.
Oh my God, Allison Brie would definitely make my list because she sounds fun. All right, can we get into what I really wanted to talk about today?
Are we getting the other side of the Duke story?
What's the other side of the Duke story?
Where she dropped a Snickers in the bed.
Oh yeah. Rebecca, have you been following the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial and tribulation?
I try watching it, but I keep falling asleep. I mean, have you seen? First, it was a week of him testifying, and now she finally got up there.
6 hours.
They should call this two lunatics in court. That's what they should call it.
Well, whatever. They should call it some of the best TV that I've seen in a long time. I am just hypnotized by it. I finished my noon show today and I went in the other room and I just watched Amber Heard on the stand giving her side of things. And it's been 3 weeks of me talking about Johnny Depp is being he's being ruined and she's a horrible woman. I watched her today and I'm like, she tells some good stories. Like, I don't know. I'm still on Team Depp, but it's like, she's got some stories.
I guess these are two people that are never going to work again, as far as I could tell.
Couple of quick. Well, no, actually, I think that there's going to be a big redemption for Johnny Depp. I think that based on the way the general population is sort of taken, unless she wins him over here in the next couple of days, she didn't seem to do that great of a job today. But there were points where I watched the whole thing. There are points where I'm going, if he really did that. But here's the other thing. Okay, so let me go through some points here and then we'll individually let you guys chime in. Cause I've got a whole flow chart here of shit that I saw today that I wanted to mention. All right. First of all, she was talking about, they walked her through from the very beginning, how they first met, what their first conversation was, how long it took before they slept together. Every step by step, we went through the whole thing. So I feel like I know everything about their relationship at this point. Amber Heard, talk about having zero self-awareness. Amber Heard was in a lesbian relationship with someone who she called her wife. She refers to as my wife, my ex-wife. And I don't know if they were officially married, but she kept calling her my ex-wife. Amber Heard was in a committed lesbian relationship. And Johnny Depp was coming out of his relationship with the mother of his children, Vanessa Paradis, who he's with for like 14, 15 years. And Amber Heard on the stand had the nerve to say that here's how I phrased it. While Amber Heard was cheating on her partner with Johnny Depp, she had concerns about the sort of man he was for cheating on his partner with her. Where is the self-awareness?
That's pretty bad. Okay.
She didn't know if she should be in a relationship with someone who would cheat on their partner while she was cheating on her partner. This is but James and Rebecca, you don't know about this, but I have a great hatred, a great critique of the actress. I've known a lot of actresses. I went to a school that was just filled with wannabe actresses. They are some of the worst human beings on the planet. A young woman who wants to be an actress is an absolute emotional hand grenade at all times. And Amber Heard was so wrapped up in the idea that dating Johnny Depp is a really good career move for me. He's like, that she completely just pushed her lesbian wife aside. That wasn't an issue, that she was cheating on her partner with Johnny Depp. It was that he was cheating on his partner.
Okay, I think if we've established anything is that both of these people are crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so they're not fit to be with a sane person. So they kind of should be with other crazy people, which them being together almost makes sense if you look at it from that angle. Because crazy should marry crazy, and y'all should just learn to tolerate each other's crazy. And us normal people will marry other normal people, and we won't throw stuff across the room or take, wayward dukes. We'll just have a healthy relationship.
Rebecca?
Yeah, and the one thing I'm learning from this trial, Johnny Depp loved to do drugs, and he has millions and millions and millions of dollars. You put those two things together, you love to do drugs and you have millions and millions and millions of dollars. Is there any doubt in your mind that Johnny Depp, him being straight compared to him being high in his life, it's not even a comparison, like what he's done more?
Yeah. If I was Johnny Depp and I had that lifestyle, I would probably slightly in the bag 95% of the day. Why not? Yeah, okay. So here's what I kept thinking. Johnny, and she kept saying, he's one of the most famous men in the world. Everybody knows who he is. And she's absolutely right. And she's Amber Heard. She is not. So her crazy does not come off as interesting as Johnny Depp's crazy, because Johnny Depp is at the level where crazy gets termed as eccentric, whereas Amber Heard is still at the level where crazy is just, you're a crazy bitch.
Yeah, when poor people are weird, you're crazy. When rich people are weird, you're eccentric.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's, or famous people. So
Right.
she got very upset. Like, one of the things that really upset her about their relationship was that Johnny Depp would be so wonderful. I was so in love with him. He was the sweetest, and he was a gentleman, and he left little notes, and he gave me presents, and he was always there for me, both emotionally and physically. And then he'd disappear for 3 weeks. And I'm like, bitch, that's Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is a rogue. This isn't new. Johnny Depp has been disappearing and going on binges with alcohol and drugs and partying with Keith Richards and Tom Petty and all of these people for decades. Did you not know who you were getting involved? I mean, Johnny Depp's history of being an out of control party boy goes all the way back to the mid 1980s when he was dating Jennifer Grey and beating people up in clubs. I mean, Johnny Depp is that guy. He's a charming rogue. Johnny Depp is not George Clooney. You know what I mean? Like George Clooney with his fancy international lawyer wife, and they're good, perfect. Johnny Depp is a rogue. You got into a relationship with a rogue. So when he disappears for 3 weeks and then shows up like nothing ever happened, that's part of the deal. James?
We would do it if we had the money. We would just disappear for 2 weeks at a time. I'd go to Vegas. I'd go to Florida. I'd go to some other country. I'd be like, I want to see the local bars, like where the locals hang out. And then I'd be like, I want to get some drugs. And yeah,
Dude, if I'm Johnny Depp, I am just getting on my private jet and I'm going wherever there's gas enough in the tank to get me. And I'm pulling into, small town.
Does he have private jet money? Yeah, he has private jet money, right?
Private jet
Well, no,
money.
He bought an island in the Caribbean. He owns an island in the
God. Oh
so,
my God.
So that is the top level of rich right there. Not when you are renting private jets, so you don't have to fly Southwest with the rest of us losers, but when you like own a jet and the pilot is your employee, you're not like doing a wheels up thing or whatever. So once you have that jet, there is this thing that we will never get to experience, but you could be up and you got a full tank of gas. You could just say, you know what? Just kind of turn to the right. We're going to go to.
Yes.
Yeah,
Dude, that's what I'm saying. If I'm Johnny Depp, I get on my jet. I say, how far can we get? And the pilot will say, I don't know, Indianapolis. Indianapolis it is. And we land in Indianapolis. And then I get in the limousine and I say, take me to a really cool bar. And it doesn't even matter if you're going to a mall bar or whatever. You would walk in as Johnny Depp in Indianapolis.
And a party happens. Everything stops for you. They pull out all the stops for you.
Insane.
People are wanting to take selfies. Girls are swinging from your nuts.
Right. And no matter who the hottest waitress, look, there's always a hot waitress at every bar in America, right? Every mall bar in America has a hot bartender, whoever, it doesn't matter. So you hook up with her, and before you know it, it's 3 weeks. And then you go, oh, that's right, I'm in a relationship with him.
Hang on. Talk to some of the chatters, because Leslie's having a valid criticism. She says, I guess the chat room interaction on the evening.
Leslie asked me where I'm from because of my voice. I'm from Connecticut. That's where I grew up, Leslie.
Fairfield, Connecticut. In the shadow of Yankee Stadium, as she puts it.
I think that's
Isn't that a ridiculous description for Fairfield, Connecticut?
Wait, what is it?
It's an hour away.
In the shadow of Yankee Stadium.
Well, okay, James, go ahead. Jump into the chat room. Ask what people are saying, because apparently.
Yeah. All right. To settle from Connecticut. What were some of the other ones? Yeah, the way
Heaven forbid we're having fun with some conversational chemistry that we've got to stop and talk about.
What's the point of having these great people who are taking time out of their night to watch us and interact with the show? Neither one of y'all answered the question. Have you ever farted so hard your back popped?
No, I haven't. But again, we're kind of doing a breakdown of Amber Heard's testimony today. So let me continue with that. All right. So you were talking about the money. Rebecca brought up the money. You want to hear what kind of money? Now, remember when we were talking about how a lot of these fights occurred in what was referred to as either Penthouse 1, Penthouse 2, or Penthouse 3, right?
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Okay. So as that turns out, one penthouse in LA wasn't enough. They bought 3 on the same floor, and they basically occupy the entire floor. So it's like 3 penthouses right next to each other. It's like having a 12,000 square foot house up in the sky. Now, Johnny Depp, by all accounts, and I have not seen, here is what watching today, here's what he has. Okay. James, you got a nice house, right? I live in a guest house. Rebecca, you probably just got the one place, right? Normal people have the one place.
Yeah.
He's got, by my best count, 5 and possibly 6 apartments all in LA. Okay. He's got the 3 penthouses. He's got another penthouse that is just off Sunset Boulevard where he lives. He's got a loft in downtown Los Angeles. He's got like 5 apartments all within 10 minutes of each other. I've been to LA. I'm sure traffic will make it a little bit longer than that, but he's got like 5 apartments, and these aren't cheap apartments. These are probably all, I don't know, minimum 12 grand a month, minimum, more than that, 15. It's LA. So he's got, by my count, 5 apartments. Then Amber also has her own apartment that she keeps. So there's 6 apartments, because I guess, you can't just run away to one of the 5 apartments. They've got that. They've got a house in the Hollywood Hills. They've got a beach house in Malibu. He also has penthouses in New York, Paris, and London, plus a London house and a Hawaiian house. He has a ski house in Switzerland. He has an island in the Bahamas, and he's got a ranch in Wyoming that he has never been to.
Yeah, his house in the Hollywood Hills, you could stand on Sunset Strip, like right in front of the Whiskey A Go-Go, and you could point up to his house and you could see it. And it's that close to all the action, but he's still up in the hills and he's away from it all.
So he's got the Hollywood Hills house, which is right there off the Sunset Strip, but also he's got the penthouse apartment also on the Hollywood Strip, which is walking distance from his house in the, I don't. This is a level of money that I just can't. Okay.
Hang on, question. Which one did she duke in?
Penthouse 3. Penthouse 3 is the answer we were looking for. Let's see.
Glad you know that.
Well, I remember she testified as much, because the lawyers made her be specific about which penthouse the poop occurred in. Okay, so what are some of my other hot takes here that I had on? We're running out of time.
Did you not get audio of her explaining the way?
Oh yeah, yeah. You want to hear some audio?
Well, I would like to hear her explanation for the doo-doo.
Oh no, I don't have audio. That's so 2 weeks ago, James. We have moved. Hey, you want to hear a really cool story though? You want to?
I haven't moved on.
You want to hear what being rich is all about?
Yeah.
All right, let's find this one. Okay, that comes at 6 hours and about 45. All right. So let me set the scene for you. They decided for some ridiculous reason that they were just going to go to Russia, right? Amber and Johnny just decided that they were going to go to Russia, and they were going to take the jet. And on the jet, Johnny and Amber were going to just do a whole bunch of MDMA on the long flight to Russia. Why not? Private jet, right? So here, okay, where is it? Let me make sure I can find this. Okay, so where is the time on that? Okay, that's 6 hours and 45 minutes into the testimony. We had to get to this. Okay. Oh, by the way, also, James, there was a period of time where Johnny's 2 kids came to spend some time over the summer with Amber and Johnny, and they rented a yacht, and they wanted to go out on the yacht with the 2 kids. So it's Amber, Johnny, and the 2 kids. Now, you have how many kids? 15? How many kids you got, Johnny?
4.
4. You got 4 kids. All right. So they got the 2 kids, and it's Amber and it's Johnny. And there was a thing because they needed to find another adult to help out with the 2 kids. Even though there's 2 adults, which basically means they needed to find a third person to just take care of the kids, because Johnny and Amber were not going to be taking care of the kids.
No, when you like to do drugs that much and you've got that much money, you always need someone to watch the kids because you're always doing drugs.
James, I bet you have gone out with your 4 kids and you've handled them all by yourself without the help of another adult.
Man, did it tonight. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, you can handle it. All right, so here, is this going to be the cool sex party on the plane?
Just sit there staring at the stupid light. I don't know what to do.
You want to give me a share screen?
Stood there.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Okay.
Well,
This is also what I like to call bad acting theater.
I didn't say like stop or anything.
She really is pretty.
She's beautiful. She really is. He's Johnny Depp. He's not going to date her.
So the next morning, what transpired?
Why does he have to wear sunglasses indoors? He looks so stupid.
Thinking that Johnny would.
Those are girl glasses.
No, that's not.
When he'd get clean and he'd get sober, and then he was this thing again.
Okay, here we go.
This thing that made me feel so loved, that made me feel like or something so. One tell me you saved my life. Everyone else was saying it. He was saying it. I thought.
All right, you know what?
Just like his other friends who had gotten.
I can't seem to find it.
I thought, well, this is a relatively contained environment.
Oh, yeah, okay, here we go. Here it is. All right, so remember, they just jump out of plane, Johnny's private jet, and they're going to go to Russia. They're going to do a whole bunch of MDMA on the plane.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I finally met them in the summer.
Oh, all right. You know what? We don't have time for this. All right, I'm sorry.
Come on, don't do that. Now I need to hear this. I need to hear this story, Pugs.
Right, here's the story.
Tell me the MDMA plane story.
Story is that Johnny takes a whole bunch of ecstasy and then he gives it to her, and she takes a whole bunch of ecstasy and one, two, there we go. By the way, he used to refer to her as the lesbian camp counselor because she's basically a lesbian. I mean, she went straight back to, I guess she dicked around with Elon Musk after him just to make him jealous. But, she's back dating women and she was married to a woman before that. So he used to say, why do you always got to be the lesbian camp counselor? Why can't you be the fun party girl? Like she was always like a drip, right? So she's like, okay, we're trying to put the marriage back together. Let's get on the plane. We're going to go to Russia. I'm down for it. Let's do all kinds of MDMA. And then, so they're like starting to trip some balls, right there on the plane. And Johnny decides that he's going to see if the stewardess wants to do some MDMA with him. So the stewardess comes back and she's like, no, Mr. Depp, I can't. And he's like, I'm Johnny Depp. I own this plane. You work for me. You can do whatever you want. I give you the night off. Would you like to do ecstasy with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard on your night off? It was like that kind of thing. She's like, all right, whatever, we'll do it. So the stewardess, like, what is the plan there, James? James, tell me, you're a heterosexual man.
He's working out a threesome.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what you think. Hold on. I'm sorry.
What, did you just want to hear her stories from childhood, the name of her blankie or her pet dog or whatever? Just
Why
the crap
can't I hear
tell
you?
people when you're on drugs.
James, keep talking. Why can't I hear you right?
Can you hear me, Rebecca? I think everything's working. Okay. It's just you then.
Keep talking.
You know what I'm saying anyway. He's working her into a threesome. I know it. Rebecca knows it. You know it. Dogs know it. John, Byron, Jeff, Bob, they all know it. He's working her into a threesome. That's it.
He's working into a threesome. His wife is a lesbian. She's probably she's a stewardess on a private jet. So she's gorgeous, right? Goes without saying.
She don't look like Lizzo.
No, she's a beautiful woman who is a stewardess on Johnny Depp's private jet. So he gets her to do some MDMA. And, okay, so all of a sudden the uptight stewardess is now into it, right? And so the uptight stewardess starts kind of getting into it with Amber a little bit, which is how I understand these things begin. I understand that it's the two girls who take the ball and run with it first. And you have to believe that this is the plan. But then for some reason, Johnny Depp like went nuts. Like he started accusing the stewardess of trying to steal his girl. Like he got like really jealous that because he married a lesbian that maybe. And the reason the story is so interesting is because she told a story like an hour earlier about the exact same thing. Johnny Depp would get a threesome going and then just completely blow it by his insecurities.
That's gay.
But how cool would it be if you're at work and your boss comes up to you with a handful of ecstasy and said, "Hey, let's party and then let's do sex."
And your boss is Johnny Depp. Shit, I'd have said, well, I don't know, but you know what I mean? I'd be like, let's see where this goes, Mr. Depp.
Yeah, because 2 hours before that, she's on the phone with her friend Tiffany, and she's like, "You're not going to believe this. I'm working on Johnny Depp's flight tonight. This is my first time working on one of his flights. What if he tries to have sex with you? What if he offers you drugs? Shut up. That's not going to happen. I'm a professional. I would never do anything like that."
So weird.
You're so stupid.
Strange. That's so dumb. Channel 9 says breaking news: Jerry Jones has been transported to Parkland Hospital after a car accident.
Pugs, and very important piece of information you need to know right now. Rebecca is a stellar Cowboy fan. That's one of the great things we had in common in our oasis of Cowboy fandom while in New Orleans. You know, we latched onto each other for that because there's no other Cowboy fans.
You are an East Coast Cowboy fan.
Explain this. He has to tell a story every time.
I grew up a Cowboy fan. I should have liked the Giants. All my friends were Giants fans, but when I was a little kid, they used to lose all the time. And then this team came on at 4:00, and they had helmets, stars on their helmets, and there was a hole in the roof so God could watch them play. And they won all the time. And I said, I liked that team when I was a little kid, but I'm not the biggest Jerry Jones fan. If he never fired Jimmy Johnson, they would have won 10 Super Bowls.
I always hated the Cowboys, and I stand by it. No, that's not true. I'm in a very bad position with the Cowboys because, I worked for the flagship for the Cowboys, and I did a whole bunch of like pregame Cowboy stuff, and I got to know a number of players, and it's hard not to live here and not root for the Cowboys. You want them to win because it's more fun, when they win around here. It is fun in this town when they win. And now I got a 12-year-old, and my 12-year-old, he and I have a deal. He will be a Chicago Bear fan if I support his first love of his Dallas Cowboys. So, I can't really talk shit on the Dallas Cowboys anymore. I'm kind of stuck now with my kid. All right, so I'm looking to see here. I just looked for the Jerry Jones. No, there's nothing. I don't know where Channel 9 is getting that information, but I'm not seeing it anywhere. That doesn't mean it's not true. It just means that Channel 9 has sources that are better than the internet. The last, I just hashtag Jerry Jones. The last thing that was posted about Jerry Jones was 8 hours ago by Mike Fisher. And it has nothing.
I used to work with that guy.
Oh yeah, Fish Sports, and it has nothing.
Really good, by the way, as far as sports talk. That dude, he's got one of those encyclopedia memories.
Yeah,
great guy.
I have nothing bad to say about old Fish. Okay, we're gonna end it. We're going to end it unless Jerry Jones is dead. Then I'll come back on and we'll do like a breaking news thing.
James Parker and I worked with a guy named Fisher in New Orleans, and we both hate him.
Oh, worst.
I met that guy.
You did.
I can see why. Trust me, I can see. Oh, wait a second. My kid is playing music.
All right. So Rebecca Lopez from WFAA is also reporting Jerry Jones involved in an accident. I have Matt Howerton from the AP also reporting from WFAA that Jerry Jones involved in a car accident at Wolf and Harry Hines around 8:08 p.m. So this happened right before we started.
All right. I'm going to try a Cowboys hashtag. We'll see if we got stuff there. I mean, if you got nothing.
Blame Jerry Jones's driver, because when you're as rich as he is, I don't think he's driven a car probably in 35, 40 years.
No, he does. I see him. He lives in my neighborhood. He lives right down the block from me. His house is right down the block from where I am right now. I see him driving all the time. He
Oh,
drives himself.
wow.
Yeah, he's got a Mercedes that he drives. He's got a Jaguar that he's probably got a whole bunch of cars. But yeah, no, he drives himself. He's at least, around town. So who knows? We'll see. All right. Rebecca, so nice to have you back with us again for another night. Please feel
It's
free.
always a pleasure, and thank you for having me on.
There you go, James. It's good to see you as well. We will talk later. And I mean it. If there's something going on with Jerry Jones and it starts popping here, I will break in with a whole live coverage kind of deal that we'll do. But as of right now, I haven't been able to find anything. All right, thank you to the fine chat people. Leslie, I'm sorry that you felt ignored in the chat room today. We will get through this. To everybody else who showed up in the chat room, thank you so much. Appreciate you giving us this time. Also, tomorrow, join me, high noon, 12 o'clock every day, 12 Central Standard Time. What we do is topics, hot topics, current events, trending topics, headlines, anything that's happening. I go through them. It's rip and read, baby. It's rip and read. Here's what's trending. Here's what people are saying. Here's what I'm thinking. Next. And we just move fast. It's everything you need to be fully informed for the day ahead of you. James, Rebecca, you guys stay cool. There you go. Folks, we'll see you tomorrow at noon. Bye, everybody. So baffling to some, I can smile a little now. Things are going good. I always had to be on guard. That is understood. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. I am on a never-ending quest.